Hello, welcome to Decimal Division Partial Quotients. Good thing that we already know how to use the algorithm because that will kind of help us in our understanding of partial quotients. I think most of the time in school we use partial quotients to help us in our understanding of sonic division, but I think in this case uh, it might actually make more sense backwards. So let's take a look. All right. So study the following image line. What do you notice? What do you wonder? What problem is being modeled? Study the following image. Here we go. All right, so the problem being modeled, basically they're asking what is our dividend? What is our divisor? Our dividend is the number inside the house. Our divisor is the number outside of the house. So it looks like they're modeling 300 divided into two groups. And with partial quotients, they realized that basically 100 groups of 2 equal 200, so that's why they took away 200 right here. And then 50 groups of 2, remember you can use the zeros trick, cover up the 0. 5 times 2 is 10, bring that 0 back, was 100. So that's why, oops, that's why they subtracted 100 right there. And by subtracting 200 and 100, they got rid of their dividend, and that was 150 groups of 2. So that was what we did with partial quotients. They're going to show you today how to use partial quotients with decimals. So they're going to start side by side. So 59 and 4/10 divided into three groups. So the first thing that they did was they started off with the dividend of 594. So we're going to take out groups of 3. All right. So 100 groups of 3 is 300. So the first thing they're doing is taking out 100 groups of 3. That's the 300 right there. 594 minus 300 equals 294. So now we're focused on 294. How many groups of 3 can we take out of 294? Can't take out 300. So instead of trying to take out 100 groups of 3, we could try and take out 50 groups of 3. Use your zeros trick. Take the 0 out for a second. 5 times 3 is 15. Now put the 0 back. So that was 150. So 50 groups of 3, 50 groups of our divisor. That's a weird looking arrow. 50 groups of 3 gave us 150. So when we subtracted 150 from 294, that gave us 144. And so we couldn't use 50 groups of 3. That would be too large. So the next thing we could try maybe 40 groups of 3. If you know that 4 times 3 equals 12, and then put that 0 on the end, you know that that's 120. So 144 minus 120, which is 40 groups of 3, our divisor, gave 24. And then you know your math facts. What's 3 times 8? 3 times 8 is 24. So that's where we got 100, the 50, the 40, and the 8 is from how many groups of 3 we took out in each partial quotient. So we took out 100 plus 50 plus 40 plus 8. So a total of 198 groups were taken out. All right. So if we had our 198 up here and we put our decimal back in, then we know that it would be 19 and 8/10, and that's what they're going to try and show you as soon as I delete all this. So check this out. This is how it would look with decimals, right? So instead of taking out 100 groups, we took out 10 groups because 3 times 10 equals 30. Instead of taking out 50 groups, we took out 5 groups because 3 times 5 equals 15. Instead of taking out 40 groups, we took out 4 groups because 3 times 4 equals 12. And then we took out 8/10 groups because 8/10 times 3 equals 2 and 4/10.